Ugh. And here we are again. You know, I feel like every year or so I have to sit down and make a video like this because yeah, it's just, you know, over time old videos become old videos and you start getting new people coming to your channel. You start getting new Fluffle members recruited into our fun little cult of ours. And so I have to make a video like this every so often. I know the last time I made a video like this was back when I was doing my funny daily commentary videos where every single day I would make a commentary video. It was also during the time where it was essentially 2 clips a day and a commentary video. I was on that grind. I had Puff was working on a daily edit. Obi had a daily clip. And then of course I tried to find some way of talking about things. That ended up falling off a little bit because it was really stressful to come up with something to talk about every single day. And on top of that, whenever I talked about things that I wanted to talk about, they didn't do very well. You know, whenever I talked about my lore, if I talked about music projects, people just wanted me to talk about, like, I don't know, very clickbaity things. So eventually that fell off. But back in those days of the daily commentaries, one of the first videos I made during that era was, I believe the title of it is, "What are my opinions on femboys?" And that's what the yeah, I'm sure you've looked at the title. I'm sure you've clicked on the title, and the title being, "Am I a femboy?" I've answered this question many times. Some people have answered in the comment sections for me. You know, it's been the age-old question of, am I a femboy? I mean, look at me. Look at me. What do you think? What do you think? I feel like most people make the assumption of, yeah, I mean, look, he looks cute. He's kind of cute. He's kind of cute looking. Hey, that's a femboy. Especially because a lot of the people that I'm friends with, and the, you know, I've done collabs with Velky, I've done collabs with Taiga, you know, Shizu is currently a femboy, you know, stuff like that with like the Thumpin' Barks. You know, a lot of the people I've invited to the Thumpin' Barks have also been femboys, which lumps people into the assumption of, yes, I am indeed a femboy. And let me tell you, I have been trapped in this cycle forever. There has been people, you know, commenting on videos saying, you know, like just happenstance talking about me being a femboy, and you know, whether that be comments or whether the stream, I am never upset by people assuming this. I have pastel colors, I have a flower in my hair, I have, you know, like a baggy sweater. While inherently these things can definitely be seen as feminine, I do not consider myself a femboy. I do not consider myself a femboy. I have stepped away from the femboy community for years and years and years. I was unfemboying myself way before people started doing it nowadays. You know, now it's meta. Now it's meta to stop being a femboy. People are becoming twunks, muscular men. Like, you know, Roy left the femboy stage to become a muscular, sweaty man. You know, there's a few other people that are turning into twinks. Some other people, they're literally just turning into girls. You know, they're going through these stages. We'll give you a little Shiri lore lesson. Back in my wee days of when I first started off doing YouTube, and you know, everything like that, I did use the label femboy. I did end up using that. You can actually go to my ASMR channel and sort it by oldest, and you'll see that there's a few videos. You can see the exact point where I stopped using femboy. And one of the major reasons why I stopped using that term was two. I have two reasons. One, it was attracting a lot of really uncomfortable people. I feel like the people that look up the term femboy most of the time, like if they're actually looking up the tag, they're looking for something a little sexual. They're looking, and you know, my content has never tried to been the focus, despite all the clickbait you see, like all the clickbait and stuff like that. I try not to, like, my ASMR, the reason why my ASMR channel is still up is because I've never done not safe for work ASMR before, and I'm not going to do not safe for work ASMR. Like, I may have done some risky things like ear licking and stuff like that, but that's just comfortable. I like ear licking. Like, I don't find that sexual at all. So it's just, I pride myself on, like, you know, sometimes I have very blunt humor. Sometimes, you know, like we'll talk about kinks and stuff like that, but it's never in a way of like, oh yeah, I'm talking about this to get you horny. Like, my content is never horny bait. I do not bait for horny. I do not try to rile up my fluffles. You guys are little innocent beings. I would not do that. Sure, you know, I have adult topics. You know, I'll talk about kinks. I'll talk about, you know, fucking, why are people into toes? Why are people into feet? What is male pregnancy? Stuff like that. Like, I'll bring those. I'll hit the hard-hitting questions. And, you know, my comedy can absolutely take a turn where, you know, I'm talking about Olive's cloaca and stuff like that. It's not supposed to be sexual. It's supposed to be funny. And the type of people that I would bring in with, like, calling myself Femboy in my ASMR videos were, like, gooners and people that, you know, aren't there for me. They're there because they see an object, they see a tag, they see a, like, just a, like, their own little hentai tag, and they don't see a person. They're not here for my personality. They're here because they want me to lick their ears, and they want to imagine that I'm licking something that isn't their ears. That was one of the reasons why I disavowed the term and I stepped away from the term of femboy. The second term is it just doesn't fit me at all. Like, personality wise, the only thing that is very, like, femboy of me that, you know, is I got going for me is the fact that I have pastel colors. I do not think a sweater is feminine. I do not think a collared shirt is feminine. I don't think a bunny is inherently feminine. The flower, maybe, but like, maybe the flower, but that's because I'm an alchemist. I'm a florist. Like, I'm gonna have a flower motif. Like, that's just like a classic weeb thing, is to like sakras, like your cherry blossoms, because it's a more of a weeb thing than a feminine thing. It's just the pastel colors. And I'm kind of doomed with that, because it's not like I'm going to change my design or anything like that. I have too much lore. I have 50 pages of lore Bible. You think I'm going to start retconning stuff? That pulls into the question of what else am I going to retcon? I can't change my design. This is Shiri. Shiri has been set in stone. And if I rebrand as like Yuki or something like that, people are going to drop me because they're used to Shiri. This is Shiri. So it's not like I can just go ahead and do a complete rebrand like some of these other people are doing. Because I am like, you know, I'm not gonna change my lore. I'm not gonna change my person. I'm not gonna change Shiri. And Shiri was designed to be cute, look innocent, and have a dark undertone to them. They're supposed to be, like, you know, they're supposed to be luring people in by looking innocent, but they're actually more. They're more than just they're more than they let on. They're like smart. They're cunning. And they can be seen as sadistic. Like, that's supposed to be the design. It wasn't designed to be feminine. It was designed to be innocent, like innocent looking. And a lot of times it's kind of up to artists' interpretation of how they draw me and how they make me look and how they do all this stuff. But we'll get into that. But me as a person, I do not consider myself feminine. I don't enjoy feminine things. I do not like things that are, you know, objectively or subjectively feminine. Like, I never paint my nails. I don't find interest in wearing, like, panties or skirts or, you know, feminine outfits. I've never cared for decor. Like, even when it comes to guyish things, I don't like cars. I don't like all these different things that guys seem like. I'm not a gym bro. I'm just somewhere in the middle. If anything, I would be like androgynous, if anything. Like, I don't like buying shoes. I don't like buying shirts. I don't like buying skirts. I don't like buying panties. I don't like dressing up. I don't like dressing up in the sense of a guy way or a girl way. I just want to wear comfortable clothes. I was the type of bitch that back in high school, I would wear slides, gym shorts, and a baggy anime t-shirt to school. And that's all I ever wore. Like, I wore comfort, just comforting things is what I wore. And that's what I'm doing here too with myself. I'm not trying to be feminine. I don't think I have a lot of feminine qualities to me. And I think the tag femboy has way too many bad connotations about it for me to want to be labeled in such a way. It just sucks that there's not much that I can do about it. Like, it's something that's kind of hard to change, especially with people seeing Pink Bunny and just automatically assuming And it's not like I'm gonna get pissed off at people assuming that. All I can do is correct them. Like, if I was ever post on that Femboy clip channel, Femi, like, I would never be mad, because it's like I'm not one. I don't consider myself a femboy, but I'm not gonna get mad at people who are innocently like, they just don't know. Which is why I make these videos, which is why I make these like, you know, me telling you that no. To answer the question, to answer, am I a femboy? No. I do not think I have feminine qualities, and the term itself is extremely sexualized. Even if it was never originally meant to be sexualized, that is the era that we live in now, is that they are definitely 100%. They started 2 years ago being sexualized when I dropped it way back when, and now it's still, it's gotten worse. And I had the sign, you know, people are leaving the community then. You know, they should have like they're leaving it now. I've been way ahead of the curve. That's what I'm saying. So, hold on. Okay, I got here and I brought an example of different artists' interpretations of Shiri, and why it's so easy to just like, you can kind of look like anything, and it just depends on the artist and the art style. So here, I'm just gonna give you examples of just like artists having their way, like especially with Skeb. So for those of you that don't know Skeb is a site where a lot of VTubers and stuff can get artwork. It is a purely Japanese like artist site, and you send a request in and you don't have any communication with the artist aside from the one request, which is translated via their website. And within 3 months they pump out like an artwork of you, and you get no say, you don't get any revisions, you don't get anything like that. And so a lot of the times I can't go around and correct every little bit. So most of the time it's just the artist's interpretation of me, like with the different references they got mixed with the little snippet of, you know, whatever request that I'm talking about. So here are some of the different Skebs that I've gotten over the years, just to show how just different views, like, and I definitely wouldn't consider a lot of these femboys. Like, for the example, this first one, I think this is where I'm looking a lot more like a guy versus a lot of some of the other artworks. So here's someone, you know, this is me looking like a guy. This is like this very, very masculine type of artwork. And then the next one, this one, I'm looking like, I look like a child here. I didn't ask to look like one. I just asked for their normal art style. And then you got here, this one, they literally give me, they literally thought I was a girl. They literally gave me tits. They gave me boobs. Like, that just like, and then here's one where I just look feminine. Like, it's just a, you know, it's a pastel maid dress, you know, so I'm gonna look, you know, the part. So it's just, a lot of the time it's artist interpretation. So just because someone looks feminine doesn't necessarily mean that they're a femboy, especially because when they're VTubers, or if they're doing artwork, or they have artwork of them, it's gonna be dependent on the artist and the art style. And the next VTuber model that I'm getting, I worked very hard to try to not make me look super feminine. I made sure there's broader shoulders, you know, sharper chin, like my ears will be like a little bit smaller. I'm hoping with this new model I can finally get past the femboy allegations, and I'm hoping I can branch into a new term of, like, you know, what was it called, B shonen, like just like a pretty boy maybe. Or, you know, there's no term for androgynous boy, which is something that I made a tweet about like a little bit ago. It's just like, you know, there's always these terms for, like, you know, feminine boys, a femboy. It's a cute way to say it, you know. For they got twinks, they got a B shonen, they got, you know, they got a bunch of just cutesy fancy terms for, you know, tomboy, you know, they got like girly boy, they got a bunch of different fun terms, but there's no fun term for an androgynous character, which is like what I would want to go for, like, if anything, of just, you know, I don't want people to assume that I'm a girl. I don't want people to think that I'm like, you know, like That's why for the longest time I was just calling myself a soft boy, because like that is kind of like it kind of encapsulates like what I am. I wear comfy attire. I'm supposed to be comfort. I'm supposed to be a comfort streamer. I'm supposed to be, you know, like for ASMR and stuff like that. Like I'm comforting you to fall asleep and stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm trying my best here. Anyway, long story short, to make a 15-minute video into a 1-second answer, no. No, I'm not a femboy. I have disavowed that term and using that term for myself for a very long time now. I haven't called myself a femboy. I have, you know, in at least 2 years, maybe 3 years, I have left that community. I have not wanted to be a part of that community. I am friends with femboys. I am friends with people that are a part of that community, but I've never really been part of that community. If anything, I was more a part of the ASMR community back when I was in communities. And like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being a femboy. It's just not something that I would want to do personally, because I feel like the only way as a femboy to get views is to like make lewd thirst traps and like be very, very sexual and like, you know, make these memes of like, I don't know, it's just playing into sexual stuff, and that's not something that I'd ever be good at or something that I'd want to do. Like I want people to know me because I'm unique. They like my personality, or they like my humor, or they like my content. I don't want to do, you know, I'm not trying to do it because, you know, they want to see what my carrot looks like, you know? Like just look at the carrot on my cheek. Don't try to wonder what my carrot looks like between my legs, you know? That's what I'm saying. But I have food. I want to go eat food. Hopefully you enjoyed this fun little tiny video. We didn't have the thump and bark this week, and we haven't gotten the fluffle kerfuffle ready yet. By the way, if you haven't voted already, there's a new series coming out. It's going to be bi-weekly. That's not the thump and bark. It's going to be a bi-weekly series that is, you know, because we won't have the thump and bark every week. It is, you can vote for the name on it right now if you go to the community tab or the post tab on YouTube, and you scroll down a little bit. Yeah, you'll be able to find these fun little things, these fun little you can vote on the name. It's going to be a fun new community series, and it looks like it's going to be called the Fluffle Kerfuffle, as long as the voting trend stays the same, and it's going to be including you guys. It's a big community, fun, unique, special content that you can only get here. Anyway, that's enough advertising. Thank you, and thanks for coming. I appreciate it. I'm not a femboy. Don't call me one. Now you know. Now you know. Now you know. Don't make the mistake. Don't make the mistake. Also subscribe. Thank you. Thank you.